Hello, I am Alison Harrison. I'm the owner of Hot Yoga Edinburgh, this beautiful studio I'm standing in right now. And I'm the lead teacher on our 200 hours yin yang yoga teacher training, which starts on the 13th of November this year. And I am super excited to welcome a wonderful new cohort of trainees to join our training and graduate in May 2025 as 200 hours certified yoga teachers. I wanted to share with you a little bit about our training, what maybe makes our training different from other trainings, and a big hello to those of you who are watching live right now. That's so exciting. It's so lovely to see all the way from Spain. Lovely to see you, Marina, and a few others as well. But I wanted to share with you some of the basic information around what is included in our 200 hours teacher training course to help you make your decision if you're considering, should I join a course with Hot Yoga Edinburgh or someplace else? So hopefully I can help you make that decision to find the best course for yourself. Our 200 hours teacher training is absolutely packed to the brim with exceptional content. We have taken many, many years to build this course into what it is today. And every single year we tweak it and adjust it and add some things that make it even better. And included in our 200 hours course is, of course, lots and lots of led asana practice. So group yoga classes, which you'll join, they'll either be private group classes just for the YTT trainees, or they will be private classes, and we'll have maybe some other people join as well at other points. Some of our regular students will join too. These classes will be a combination. They'll be divided up into yang style or hatha style, more dynamic yoga classes. There will be some yin style yoga classes, and there will be yin yang. So that beautiful blend of the dynamic and the more soft and passive style of practice as well. During the course of the 200 hours teacher training, we will also analyze in depth, break down over 75 individual poses between yin poses and yang poses. We'll break those down into the individual components. What makes this pose what it is? What are we trying to achieve in this pose? How might it feel from one body to the next? Because we fully understand that individuals are different. All of our bodies are different. Our bones fit together differently. Some of us have more or less flexible joints and muscles. Some of us might be dealing with injuries or conditions. So there's all these different reasons that each pose might look or feel different to different people. So as we analyze each of these poses, we will also be understanding and discussing how it is that we can make these poses inclusive for everybody, whoever they might be, and make sure that our yoga teaching is available and accessible for everyone. Well, there also will be a lot of teaching practice. And from day one, don't be scared, but from day one, there will be some teaching practice. It'll start very, very small, where you teach one pose to one or two people within the group, just to begin to get an idea of how it feels to stand there and tell someone to move their body in a particular way. So right from the outset, you'll be teaching and beginning from a very small, gentle, careful start. You'll be learning how to become a yoga teacher. We'll also look at the practice and how to teach breathing patterns, breathing techniques. We have a wealth of knowledge within our faculty on yoga breathing styles, pranayama styles, and also from a science-based research point of view as well. And we share all of that information with you so that you understand how to teach these breathing practices and what we're trying to achieve through these different practices. There also will be an introduction to meditation, and there's an in-depth 20-hour online course on anatomy and physiology, which is an online course. It's led by the recognized leading experts in yoga anatomy, and you'll carry that out in your own time in between the modules. It's 20 hours of videos, but it will probably take a little bit longer than 20 hours to complete the worksheets as you go through those. Then we spend days diving into yoga history, yoga philosophy, ethics. It's a wonderful, wonderful subject, and we will study the lineages, the history of yoga right up to the modern lineages that make up the modern styles of yoga that you come across today in yoga studios, in ashrams around the world. We'll also study the 8 limbs of yoga as they are outlined in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and understand what those 8 limbs mean and how we can apply them in practical terms to our everyday living, to our everyday life, to our yoga practice on the mat, but also off the mat, and how they would apply in running a yoga business. And I'll share quite openly how I balance ethics and running an ethical business while also being a yoga teacher and also running a yoga studio. And to me, it's a happy balance that you can find, but it can be tricky to navigate your way through all of that. So we'll have lots of conversations around that. And we'll also talk quite a bit about yoga teacher ethics, and power play and the use of language and words, and just how to make sure that you're constantly making sure that you're behaving in an ethical manner in all of your interactions with your students. We'll also look at sequencing and planning classes and how you might achieve all of that for different styles of class, for different groups of people, different times of day, all those questions you might ask yourself when you're thinking about preparing yoga practice for a group of people. And we'll look at communication skills, time management, classroom management. We share, it's one of the most fun parts of the training is we discuss a multitude of real life scenarios which have happened here at our studio. We have encountered all of these real life scenarios. So I'll share with you an anonymous scenario, and then we'll ask the group to discuss how would you handle this particular situation in an ethical, in a kind, in a caring way that takes good care of everybody and protects the boundary, your boundaries and the boundaries of the space and the boundaries of everyone in the room. It's really good fun to talk about these things. And I've been told so many times from our graduates that within weeks of starting teaching, they had started to encounter some of these interesting little dilemmas and situations that crop up in everyday life. I also take our trainees through a comprehensive business program where we study all aspects of setting up and running a small independent yoga business. If you were to decide that you wanted to become an independent yoga teacher upon graduation, you don't have to do that. It's absolutely fine not to. If you do, then you'll have all the tools you need to get started. And we build on the business unit all through the program. So you're not landed with all this information on day one and expected to have answers to everything. That's not how we operate at all. I start to share this information with you in small chunks as we work through the program over the 6 months. And you have time in between the modules just to contemplate, think about your own journey, what's important to you, what your timescale should be. And you might, as again, I said it before, you might decide, I don't want to teach right now. I don't want to set up as a yoga teacher. That's okay as well. There's no pressure on you to do that. But whenever you do decide to, if you do, you'll have the information that you need. And built into every single module is lots and lots of teaching practice, real life teaching practice. You don't record a video of you teaching that you submit to your lead teacher on our training. That's not how it works. We are right there with you in the room. You're teaching your colleagues, you're teaching me. We are observing and giving you feedback, very kind and constructive feedback all the way through so that you can build your confidence. And by the time you graduate, you will have taught a 60-minute class. And you'll have also taught in this studio that you might be able to just see behind me. Right now, we're drying all the yoga mats that just had a deep clean. So that's why there's lots of yoga mats laid out there. But you will have led an entire, actually 2 teaching practices where you have led that whole space, you have organized and run and created that sequence, and you'll lead that for the whole group. So by the time you graduate, you will actually have had that real life experience in a really safe environment where you can build your confidence, learn from those small mistakes that inevitably you'll make. So it makes it a really safe space to join. And I've had a couple of questions on the live here. Some of you are watching live and some of you will be watching on catch up, asking about the cost of the course, which is a great question. It's a very important question. Thank you for asking. The cost of the course, all of the early bird spots have now gone. So the full fee now that is applicable is £2,750 for the full course. That includes all of the training in your manual and all of the days here that you'll attend here at the studio and online. And if you decide to apply with us, you can contact us by email or you can phone us at ytt@hotyogaedinburgh.com. I can send you over an application form. You can submit that application form. Once I've accepted you onto the course, you'll have 7 days to pay the non-refundable deposit of £500 and also send us back a signed copy of our T's and C's. And then you can pay the remainder any way you like. You can pay it all at once, or you can pay it in installments, but we're running close to the start of the course now, so there's not much time left if you were planning to pay in installments. The full fee is due 1 month before the training starts, which would be the 13th of October this year. So we would expect to receive all of those funds 1 month before the training starts. And right after we receive those, we'll send you over the introduction to your online anatomy course, and you can begin to get started and start to prepare yourself for the 200 hours course. In terms of pre-requirements to join us on this training, we would suggest that you should have had a minimum of 2 years regular practice where you have been regularly practicing yoga either by yourself at home or in a studio, however your setup is. But the reason we suggest that is that it's given you time to become familiar with the poses, the individual poses, and begin to become familiar with your body and how your body feels as you practice yoga, because we're going to build from that during the course of the training. I don't mind whether or not you are able to accomplish certain, what some people might call advanced poses, things like perhaps a headstand or handstand or the splits. Those things are not important to me at all. And you may be able to do those things, you may not, and that's fine. It doesn't make any difference to us whether or not you can do those things. What we are looking for in our trainees is people who are curious, who want to learn, and who make a commitment to be kind to themselves and kind to everyone else in the training and on the group, so that everybody can feel really safe. It's a very transformational experience to join a 200 hours teacher training, and my absolute priority is that everybody feels safe and included and welcome. And so I ask everybody in the group to be super kind to each other, to be very kind to themselves. It's a very tough course. You're going to work really hard, but you're going to achieve something fantastic at the end, and it'll all be worthwhile. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to message me or drop me an email, give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. We do have a couple of upcoming events if you'd like to join those. Next Thursday evening, there is an online intro to the teacher training. It'll be a little bit similar to this, but you'll have the opportunity to ask questions right there and then. And the following Saturday, the 28th of September, I think it is, there's an in-person event at the studio, which you'd be welcome to join as well. So if you have any other questions right now, please let me know, and I'd be happy to either do another live or include it in one of these other events that we're holding. But there are just a few spots left on this year's course. There's been a lot of interest in the course, and a lot of people have already signed up. So if you're thinking about it, don't delay too long or all the spots may be gone. We do keep our training classes small. We don't have dozens of people joining us. So we do make sure that we keep the class size small. So thank you so much for joining me on this live. I really appreciate it. If you're watching on catch up as well, thank you so much for your time. Take care. Have a lovely day. Thanks.